This happened when I was doing a part-time job during college. There was a large supermarket in our area that stayed open 24 hours a day. During the daytime, it felt completely normal. Bright lights, customers everywhere, kids running around, the constant beep-beep of the checkout machines. But at night, that place felt like a completely different world. I usually worked the night shift from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. There weren't many people, just one cashier, a security guard, and me. My job was to organize shelves and restock items. The first night was normal. The second night was fine too. But on the third night, something felt off. The first strange moment. It was around 2 a.m. The store was almost empty. I was fixing snack boxes in one of the aisles when suddenly, beep, beep, the checkout scanner made a sound. I looked toward the counter. The cashier was sitting there, but no customer was standing in front of him. I told myself the machine probably glitched. Then, beep, this time the sound came from behind me. It was the freezer aisle, where ice cream and frozen food were kept. I slowly walked over. When I turned the corner, no one was there, but one of the freezer doors was wide open. That was strange, because those doors always close automatically. What the security guard said. I asked the security guard, "Did you open the freezer door?" He stayed quiet for a moment. Then he asked, "You're new here, right?" I nodded. He leaned closer and said softly, "Try not to walk alone through the aisles at night." I laughed it off, but something heavy settled in my chest. The fourth night, the mirror. Behind the supermarket, there was a small restroom. Around 3 a.m., I went there. The light flickered slightly. I washed my hands and looked up. In the mirror, I saw someone standing behind me. My heart nearly stopped. I turned around instantly. No one. I looked back into the mirror. Nothing again. I told myself I was tired. As I stepped out, a voice whispered behind me, "One aisle is still left." It didn't sound like a machine. It didn't sound human either. I turned back. The restroom was empty. The CCTV room. By now I was genuinely scared. I asked the security guard to show me the CCTV room. We sat there watching the screens. Suddenly on one camera, a figure appeared slowly walking down an aisle. I asked, "Who is that?" The guard's face went pale. He said, "That's not a customer." He swallowed hard. "That person has been appearing every night, at the same time, for the last 3 years." I looked closer. The figure was pushing a shopping cart, but the cart was completely empty. And the face. The camera never managed to focus on it. The truth. The guard finally told me the truth. Years ago during a night shift, a man working inside the store suffered a heart attack. He collapsed in the freezer aisle. In the morning, employees found his body, lying near the ice cream freezers. Since then, freezer doors open on their own, checkout machines beep with no customers, and at exactly 3 a.m., a man with an empty cart appears on the CCTV cameras. My last night. I had already decided to quit. That was my final night. Around 3 a.m., as I passed the freezer aisle, I heard a whisper. "My receipt is missing." My feet froze. I didn't turn around. I walked straight out, placed my badge on the counter, and never returned to that supermarket again. Even today, when I walk through a supermarket late at night, and I see a freezer door slightly open, I still hear that voice in my head. One aisle is still left. This happened when I was living in a small town. There was only one big supermarket in the entire area. Everyone knew it. And even though no one openly talked about ghosts or anything supernatural, people still said one thing. Being inside that supermarket at night doesn't feel right. I never believed in such things. At least, not back then. The new job. I got hired as a stock auditor at the supermarket. My job was simple. Count the shelves, separate expired items, prepare inventory reports. The store closed at 12 a.m., but I usually stayed inside alone for 2 to 3 hours after closing. The first few nights were completely normal. But one thing bothered me. Even after the store was closed and locked, not all the sound stopped. The first strange incident. One night around 1:30 a.m., I was standing in the cleaning supplies section. Suddenly I heard something familiar. The sound of a shopping cart being pushed. I looked up. The entire store was empty. I told myself it was probably the air conditioning or a loose wheel. I went back to work. 5 minutes later, clack, clack, clack. This time the sound was clear. I looked toward the aisle. A shopping cart slowly rolled forward and stopped at the end of the aisle. There was nothing inside it. The manager's warning. The next day, I asked the store manager, "Do motion sensors ever malfunction at night?" He stared at me for a moment. Then he asked, "How late do you stay after closing?" I said, "Usually alone." He went quiet. Then he said something strange. "If you ever find something moved from its place, don't put it back." I laughed and asked, "Why not?" He didn't answer. Items that didn't belong. By the fourth night, I noticed items were ending up in the wrong aisles. One night, milk was in the baby products aisle. Biscuit boxes were near the refrigerators. A toy box was sitting on the electronics shelf. I assumed the day staff made mistakes. But there was one problem. Those items were only ever misplaced after nights I worked late. Under the checkout counter. One night I was sitting near the checkout counter, finishing my report. That's when I heard it. Breathing. It sounded like someone was breathing slowly. From under the counter, I bent down and looked. Nothing. When I stood back up, a small piece of paper slid out from underneath. It was an old receipt. The date on it wasn't recent. It was years old. And the total amount printed on it. Sir Timwinder, what really happened? I finally asked one of the older employees. He lowered his voice and told me the truth. Years ago, after closing time, a man had secretly stayed inside the store. He was homeless. During the night, he suffered a severe panic attack. He collapsed near the checkout counter, trying to get help. When employees arrived in the morning, they found him dead. In his hand was a receipt with nothing on it. The last night. My final night felt different. The store was unnaturally quiet. Suddenly, the loudspeakers turned on, but there was no announcement. Just a broken, distorted voice. The store is closed. But not everyone has left. Every shopping cart in the store moved at the same time. I ran toward the main entrance. The doors wouldn't open. Behind me, a soft voice whispered, "Put my items back." When the doors finally opened in the morning, I was sitting outside on the floor. After that day, I never worked a night shift in a supermarket again. And even now, when I see a shopping cart move on its own, I leave the store immediately.